How's it going, everybody? Welcome back again here into our single player world. And today, I've got some cool things to show you and to get started on. And I thought I'd start it off with a beautiful view of the areas we've been working on recently, being the farm area and then the pirate area, obviously, merging into it. And that is kind of the theme for today, which is going to be merging these into each other for good. And it seems kind of weird because it seems like they are merged in, but there's a big, ugly, disgusting area right over here. And this is this area right here, if you couldn't tell that this was ugly, horrible, really disgusting, because it is pretty much my working area. And that actually is a bit of a problem because I'm going to need to find a new place to grow trees and cut them down continuously. And that means I'm going to have to clear some more area all the way back there, which is, I guess, a good thing, but kind of sad because I've used this area quite a lot, as you might be able to tell. Now today, what I thought would be really cool is we are going to be building the area here to house a future lighthouse, which is going to be right around there. And I want the ground to look really, really interesting around it. I don't want it to just be a boring hill with a lighthouse on it. I want it to be a mildly interesting hill with a mildly interesting lighthouse on it. I think that's a pretty good goal to set for ourselves, and I'm definitely going to have a bit of fun with that. Now, while we're up here, I also thought it would be really interesting to show you my grand master plan of this area, and it's something that I haven't yet looked at completely, and I'm not too sure if we can do this, but what I want to do is I want to just do one little sneaky, cheaty thing, and then we'll go back and put ourselves back on the ground. I want to go into spectator mode, push this render distance up to a huge amount. And the reason for that is I think we might be able to get this whole island in, which is something which isn't extremely obvious if you haven't looked at the map or you haven't seen what we're doing. And I think it'll give a bit more perspective to what I see this land eventually looking like, and maybe give a bit more understanding as to what this real project is, because I think the project that we're working on is probably quite misunderstood. And it's a little bit different to what you might think, and I think it's very, very cool to have a look at. I'm not too sure how this is actually going to come out because we have got our render distance at 32 chunks, which is the highest you can go in vanilla Minecraft, and I don't even remember it going that high, but it's probably been like that forever, and I just never used 32 chunks because you really never need to ever do this. But I thought it was going to be real neat because there is a big, grand master plan to what we are doing with every little thing. And it's not obvious, and I would like to make it obvious because I think it's really cool. And I haven't seen anything done like it, at least on the scale or anything really that I can think of. Maybe, I'm guessing it's really nothing revolutionary, but I think it's pretty cool as to what we're doing. So right here, this is the area we were just looking at, obviously. And when we go out, you'll notice everything is on a massive island like that. Look at that. That's the whole big island. And it's actually a lot smaller than I expect. You can look, in fact, I might just do this and just stop there. So if you have a look, in fact, I'll get rid of the clouds. Apparently getting rid of clouds reloads everything. Why is that a thing? I just wanted the clouds gone. That's all I really wanted. So over here, this is going to be really neat because I can show you just what we are planning on at least. In fact, we can go and pull out our mouse pointer there. So right around here, look at this. This island is going to enclose everything that we're building, and it's all going to merge together really, really nicely and have a good beginning, a good ending. So we've built up here the big pirate area. You can see our custom birch trees, and that's pretty much where we've got up to. So right around that area there, in fact, it kind of cuts around there, and we've got all this covered in. Now, what I want to do is I want to finish off all of this, make this all look very, very pretty, put a lighthouse in over there, and then we can start moving our way on here and perhaps get to the docks, or perhaps get into our future, I think, castle. I'm not too sure what we're going to be doing there, but I think a castle would be very, very neat. And then move on again over this way. I plan on having a big mountain either over here or over here and move into a spruce biome around there. And then, of course, the rest of it is up to whatever we feel like. And it's really just what we see fits when we do it there, but there's a few things that I'd like to really get into it. But I just thought it was rather cool to have a look from out here and see just what we are doing, and hopefully you can get the picture of just how this might turn out when we want to have the big castle sticking up in the middle. We've got the farmlands on the right hand side, well, the eastern side there, big mountain with snow caps on the top. I think it's rather cool. And of course, all the ships are going to be around here. We're going to build a lot more ships. So there's a lot of work to be done. But I think once it's all done, which is not anytime very soon, it's going to definitely have its own feel to it and its own look to it. And I think that's going to be rather cool, being all enclosed and stuck together and just really complex. And I thought it would be cool to have a look and really show you guys just what I was thinking. Excuse me, Jansey, I came here for a survival Minecraft video, not a spectator video. Listen, if we had spectator videos, they would be extremely boring. Imagine that, spectator mode. Spectator mode only challenge, how about that? But right now what I want to do, because of course I wanted to get stuck on this land, and I've got a little bit of a project to do while we're doing it, because of course we're going to do some terraforming and making the ground all pretty, but I've got a problem which I explained in the last episode, and I think I've got one of two things which will work. One is a definite way that, well, they're both definitely going to work to solve this problem. That's the bone meal problem. We don't have enough bone meal. One way is fairly simple, and if it works, it is amazing, and I will never have to worry about the other one until I need other things. The other one is a little bit more complicated and a lot more work, and if it is the case, we will be doing that in another episode. My first plan is hopefully going to be the one that works and we don't have to worry about it. Actually, let's go up to our barn, make this a useful area for a little bit before we end up actually building on the interior of it. But what I want to do is I want to use these new composter blocks and give them a go. And in fact, these open up like a whole load of things for us to look at. But let's just go, let's close this because I don't trust myself to remember to keep up with the daylight, so we don't want zombies coming in to disturb us. I'm actually gonna do one more here because this is what I want to test, and I haven't actually done this. I guess the smart thing would have been to try to test this out in a creative world, but hey, who needs to when we got survival? All right, so we can put stuff in these as far as I'm aware. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 4. Oh, okay. Oh, only one. All right. So my whole thing is, I was wondering just how much this needed and how much this would create. So that was from 64 to 51, which is 13. Now, can I put these in like this? We can. All right, that is cool. And then the other thing, because I noticed that the bone meal popped out. Okay, maybe it was just because we right-clicked it like that. Is that just one again? Yeah. That sucks. That is horrible. Okay, we're gonna have to maybe go to plan B, because my first thought was, I've got a cactus farm, and let's just check, does that pull it out again? So it goes all the way up there, pulls it out. All right, yeah, so I've got a cactus farm on the other side of the world, and that does produce a fairly good amount of, like, pretty easy to get cactus. However, I don't think enough for 13 to 1 bone meal, but it is better than nothing right now, so I might just fill this up and go for it. And you'll see the problem that I have, and the real problem that I have is the amount of bone meal that we are going to need to try and make this all grassy up here, the new area that we're about to build all grassy. There is a fair bit of a job to do to get a lot of this stuff, even this here, you see, there's a lot of bone meal. And if the one stack is going to be making approximately 4 or 5 bone meal, that just isn't going to work. Look at that. That stack made 3. That is horrible. That is absolutely terrible. But that is the way it is. I guess that's what you get for not building a mob farm. So maybe we will have to go the mob farm route, but I really don't want to just do that just yet because I wouldn't mind doing a proper job of that. And also, while we're around here, here's a quick update as to the project that we are currently doing. I've just gone ahead, cleared out those trees, and I'm planning out how high we are going. And I've just put in some things because we're not going to do all of these today because there is a lot of land to cover. But right around there, that's where I want this mountain over here to be, the little hill, and that's going to block the ocean so that this feels like it's sort of inland, but not quite. Kind of the same idea of using the trees to block the one village from this over here. It's going to be the mountains that are going to block this from feeling like it's next to the ocean, and then the trees that will go on top of it. So that is the plan, at least, because there's a lot more thinking than just building the mountain. You got to build the mountain, and there's got to be a reason for how high you go, where you put it, where the peak goes, all those things. And the reason generally is to hide the fact that things are closer than they might seem. Like that is closer to that. Oh, oops. Actually, I can fix this. I can fix this. That is closer to that than what it might seem, because these make it a little bit of a journey. Bam, you're there. And the same sort of thing here. These block off the ocean. You don't feel like you're right next to the ocean. And then that lighthouse will be right around there. And that is the height that I'm thinking we'll go with that. We'll bring it down here, have a nice little path of some sort going up to it. Lighthouse sitting out there, or however we do it. I think that'll look pretty cool. Here we go, a little bit of an update. We've got ourselves all of this filled in with stone, and I thought I'd just go through a few of the stages that we go through because they're not really too crazy, but they do look a little bit different to the way it turns out in the end, and that's what we currently have. Now what I wanted to do is I want to go ahead and lay a layer of dirt over a lot of this, and then we'll go and build this eventually and connect it into this. But what we will do today is lay the layer of dirt, make this all interesting, make these curves nice, make the ocean look good. You can see, look at that. That's perfectly generated by Minecraft. So that's the way the game generates it. Big, straight, ugly, jarring lines. We're gonna make that nice and smooth. Maybe even add a bit of smooth stone into it. That could actually look pretty cool. So that's the plan with this, and I thought I'd bring you guys in to a few places. The one stage of the terraforming, because I know a lot of people will struggle with this, that I didn't bring a recording in for, was the whole skeleton bare bones structure, and this one just didn't make sense. And honestly, I think there's probably going to be a bit of work just to shape this out a little bit better than what it is right now. But I think I can see where it's going to be going. All right, I was actually planning on just going ahead and starting up here, and look at that. I decided to end a pearl to see how that was going, threw the pearl over there, and what do you know, these guys spawned right on top of there, which is super strange. Look at that. They're staring at me right now. I don't know if this is actually them just looking at me just because this is conveniently east, maybe? Let's check if I go up here. You can see they shot at me and I just ender pearled away. Two of them seem mildly interested. Let's see if we go around this way. They're breaking my crops as well. Oh man. Yeah, I don't actually know what to do if they will just go away if I disappear. They're going into the house. Are they gonna open the door? Yeah. This is the weirdest thing I've ever seen. Okay, I don't know how to deal with this, so I'm just gonna walk around, stare at it for a little bit, and maybe they will go away if I just let them render out. Another weird one, let's check if this guy's here. I had another weird 1.14 spawn here, and it was one of our friends we've seen before, being the merchant. Okay, that didn't help too much. Is he still there? Maybe out of render distance? Nah. He spawned in the water right over there. It was very, very odd. A merchant with one llama, which was pretty weird. But let's go check this out. I'll tell you if anything happens, but I'm pretty sure nothing is going to be happening. I can see one of their heads just poke up the top there. All right, enough of them. They far away enough for me to not get hurt, I think. Yeah, I think we're good. So here, this is what this is looking like, because this was what I actually planned on showing you. I ender pearled over here, and I was gonna say, hey, let's go record this over here so I can show what's going on. And boy, they ruined my day. So around here, I've gone ahead, put a whole bunch of dirt on top, which solves a lot of the weird shapes that you get from just plain blocks just sitting there. So as soon as you do that, it kind of makes it a bit smoother. When you've got individual blocks, you wrap around with dirt. It makes things a little bit more neat. Now, the next thing is I want to go and put in a whole bunch of little blocks. For instance, these sorts of things. Cobblestone, half slabs of stone now, which is great. And also some sand down the bottom here. And I've actually thought about what we're going to be doing if we do have to do a bone meal farm, a proper mob farm. There is one that suggests we go out into the desert, which means I'm actually going to probably get a lot of sand from that in any case, which means we can go ahead and maybe terraform that sometime, but I don't want to do that for a while, but it means we can. We can make this all look sandy and beachy, and what I'm thinking is we can probably put in a few of these trees around here and merge it in with the birches over there so that they work on one side and work on the other side as well. I'll give you a little bit of insight. It actually has not taken as long as I thought this was going to take. But look at that. I've textured the things. I've added some things in. I even looked at the barrels. I thought, wait, you know what? This is by pirate area. And there are shipwrecks. We can go around and add barrels around the place. And I think barrels are going to be my new favorite block of all time. But look at that. Very, very neat. So the plan is, and I don't want to go too wild with it just yet, but we'll put a few more in. I want to put a few more palm trees around here so that we can make it look quite beachy, and they will be generally on this side of the rocks. And of course, yeah, the texturing has continued on here. Even the beach, I've made that a little bit more interesting. But as I say, I think we'll have to add in those trees on that side. And then back to what I said in the very, very beginning. I'm going to break some more of this ground. It's not easy when you're doing it. I didn't say that in the beginning. What I did say in the beginning of the episode was that I want to merge the areas together, and having the trees on one side, being the palm trees, and then having the birch trees pop up on this side, I think we can easily merge the two in together, because these will be predominantly on this particular end of the mountain, or I'm calling it a mountain, the hill, and on the other end of the hill will be maybe one birch tree at the top and then a palm tree coming out, just because it makes a bit more sense, which I think works a little bit better, and I hope that will merge the view in. And of course, that's the planning over there. Now, around this area, we will continue another big range of hills, which, as I say, it went quick, but it's not that quick. It went quicker than expected. So I'll add a few more of them and then trees. And then around here, this is where it gets cool, is this will continue on up into the tree line, and then we won't have this very abrupt stop, which actually the sun is going down, so we probably should go and grab a good night's rest. But while we're there, we may as well make this a bit more of a productive trip, because I have to go over to the pirate area. And of course, take it in. This is the kind of style I'm trying to throw back to on there with the trees, but maybe make it a little bit more closer to what this would have theoretically naturally looked like, which is, I think, very tropical. And I think we've got it quite right. So let's just hop on and have a good old sleep. And then when we come back, I need to show you the map. So here is the, whoa, wait a second. There was a map here. And I'm kind of thinking right now. Well, of all the times for me to say I want to go look at the map, you know, I walked in here a few times this episode, and I walked in, I actually, you'll see I've cooked some fish up, and I turned around, I'm like, hey, I was actually wondering what the backs of these doors look like, because we built one in the last episode over there, and I was like, that's funny, I can't believe I've never noticed that. And now I come to think about it, right over here were my maps. Apparently, we have lost all of our maps, which is a big pain in the butt, because they are not easy to get, like a lot of work. That is very, very weird. It must have been, because what are we running in right now? 1.14.3 pre-release 3? Maybe that deleted them, because they were definitely there yesterday. Like, I was looking at them. One of my favorite things to do is look at the map and admire the map, say like, wow, look how much we've done, you know, kind of like what we were doing from the sky a bit earlier. That is very, very strange and very weird. I can't believe it. They are, you know what, they're not a lot of work. They're just a pain in the butt. That's what maps are. They're just a pain in the butt to make. But let me quickly put in a few things over here. I thought I'll show you guys one of my favorite little things to do, which is right over there. You can see there's a bit of coral. I reckon these are super cool. If you just add something like this in, bam, half slab, waterlogged half slab, coral on top, and then it looks like a nice colorful bush, which obviously isn't a thing that actually exists, but it looks cool. And as soon as you do a little bit of this, like that, the bush is not as obvious. Maybe even behind all that sort of stuff, it's not quite as obvious, and it looks cool in the inside. And obviously that's not working, but we can do little bits and pieces like that. But for today, I think I will go ahead and call it, because there's just so many things I will just keep on doing, and then I'll do another little thing, another little thing. I need to half slab the sand, which is going to be another little thing. And I can just keep going on with the little things on this thing forever until we eventually build the big lighthouse on top, which I think is going to be our next episode. So that's going to be cool. And I've got a bit of an idea. I want to go kind of extra risky with this, because I normally stay safe and use browns and grays, but I think we're going to use reds and whites. And I'm not too sure if that's going to work very well for us. But either way, it's going to be a good time. Thank you very much for watching this episode, of course, guys. Thank you very much for joining me. Also, quick little thing before we go. This week is where things start returning to normal on YouTube, so thank you very much for being patient, holding out, and I hope you guys have enjoyed the episodes that we have got out, and I hope you will enjoy the episodes we've got coming this week. So thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.